Hello everyone, I'm going to do a movie review for the movie Unstoppable. It stars Denzel Washington. It came out in 2010. I was expecting this movie to be good. I mean, it's not that old. It stars Denzel Washington. It got good reviews and so on. But this movie sucked. I gave it 1 out of 4 stars. I'm going to explain to you some of the reasons this movie sucked. Here are some reasons why, in no particular order. First of all, it's only an hour and 38 minutes. Usually when a movie is not that long, it's because they don't have much of a story and they just put something together and they did it just to make money and so on. Next, now let's get to the story. Too many bad things happen in this movie that are highly unlikely. It's too much of a coincidence. Next, the characters are all stereotypical characters. They are all stock characters. These are all characters that the audience can relate to. The characters are there to make a movie. Let's start with Denzel Washington. He is the leader. He is older, tough, experienced, smart. He is good. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't always go by the book, and so on. Then you have Chris Pine. He's the sidekick. He's younger. He has less experience. He has a temper. He's not as smart. He makes mistakes. He's not perfect. He's distracted, and so on. Now let's go to the guy who started the whole problem. He's fat, lazy. He does not care as much, and so on. Now let's go to the guy who was with the fat guy. He is not that professional. He is not that sophisticated. He can be a jerk, and so on. Now let's go to their boss, the female. She is nice. She cares, she is hardworking, and so on. She will be the good boss. She will be the bridge between the folks and her boss. Now let's go to her boss, the guy in the office. On the one hand, he's nice. He knows the difference between right and wrong, and so on. On the other hand, he sometimes isn't nice. He sometimes doesn't care. He sometimes is doing what is best for the company, and so on. He is there to have a bad guy, to have someone make mistakes, to have someone create obstacles, and so on. The audience can get annoyed and boo him, and you will get that scene of board members from a corporation dressed in suits in a nice office, and so on. Now let's go to his boss. He's rich. He plays golf. He cares about the money, and so on. He's not letting the good people do the right thing. He's a typical rich guy who's the head of a company who doesn't care. He will also not come in the movie that much. He's sort of a mystery. Just like many real people who are the head of a corporation are a mystery. And when someone is a mystery, some people in the audience can assume one or more negative things. He is there for the audience not to like, and they can boo him too. Now let's go to the country guy with the truck. He's funny, he's stylish, he's nice, and so on. He's there for the audience to have another guy to like, a guy who can bring some comedy, a team player who's trying to help the team, a guy who's there so that they can show what is happening outside of the train, a guy for funny people to like, a guy for stylish people to like, a guy for country folks to like, and so on. Remember that part where he was driving his truck and the song played was about a guy being a country boy? Now let's go to Chris Pine's girl. She's there to show why he's not happy, to show why he's sad, to show that he has some conflict, to show he's dealing with some personal things. She's there to have a love story, to show someone who is sad and worried about him as she learns what's happening to him, to show someone come to him at the end of the movie and give him a hug, to show someone help the movie have a happy ending. Now let's go to Denzel Washington's daughters. They are there to show why he is not happy, to show why he is sad, to show that he has some conflict, to show how he is dealing with personal things. They are there to show love for him, to show some people who are sad and worried about him as they learn what is happening to him, to show some people who come to him at the end of the movie to give him a hug, or in this case, a wave, to show some people help the movie have a happy ending, and to show sex appeal. They were young, beautiful girls who dressed in a sexual way, who played a music video with the girls dressing in a sexual way and acting in a sexual way, and they worked at Hooters. Next, there was the expert who was with the female boss. He's nice, but a little distant. He's smart, but not arrogant. He's an expert, but he doesn't just care about the money, and so on, and so on. He's there to give information, to give advice, to give details, and so on. It's better that he's there instead of the girl asking someone stuff on the phone. Next, The guy in the parachute was in the movie to show someone who tried to fix things, so it creates hope and excitement, and then it didn't work out, so that makes people feel down. And then something happened to him, and then that makes people feel down. Next, this movie did the thing where there are two main guys who are partners, but they're kind of different, and/or they're the opposite. Hollywood has done this a million times. In this movie, you have an older guy and a younger guy, a black guy and a white guy, a guy who's a leader and a guy who's a sidekick, a guy with more experience and a guy with less experience, a guy who knows what he's doing and a guy who doesn't know as much, a guy who pays attention and a guy who's distracted, a guy who's calm and a guy who has a temper, and so on and so on. The reason this is done is because it creates a story. It has conflicts. It gives the movie a way to get a bigger audience. It gives a way for people to relate to the characters. It gives a way for people to take sides. It gives a way to have an established star like Denzel Washington and a way to push an up-and-coming star. For the older people who are there for Denzel Washington, they can know about the young and upcoming star. And for the people who are there for the younger star, Chris Pine, they can know about the older star, Denzel Washington. Next, they had characters in this movie that were not necessary. They were just there to help make a story. If you want to know who's not necessary, just go over some of the characters I brought up and you should be able to figure out at least some examples of who was not necessary to be in the movie. Next, this movie did a lot of things that the audience wanted. They wanted to show good guys being good, people who are in the middle being in the middle, stupid guys being stupid, and bad guys being bad. It also showed the media being nosy and creating problems. It showed corporations being bad. It showed stupid workers not doing the right thing. It showed good workers doing the right thing. It showed a funny guy, so the movie is not so serious. It didn't show anyone dying. It didn't show anyone suffering. It didn't show anyone having any problems except for Chris Pine. And that was there to make him tough and a hero. I mean, you would think with this big disaster and with the problems they did show, they would show some people suffering and dying. But other than Chris Pine getting hurt, they didn't. And that's because they're giving the audience what they want. And because they're trying to make this movie not too negative. And also because this is a Disney movie. And also because this is a PG-13 movie. Next, at the end, how come everyone was there? How did they all find each other? Next, at the end, they did all the corny stuff. They smiled, waved, kissed, and hugged. Next, this movie also did other things. Like when the truck driver was giving a speech, the higher-ups did not let him finish because they didn't want him to tell people everything. So it adds on to how corporations are all bad and how they do bad things. And they don't let the regular guys be honest and open. They showed how Denzel Washington was actually going to lose his job soon. So this shows again how corporations are all bad and are always laying off the good guy. And if he's about to lose his job, it's another reason as to why it's highly unlikely that he would have done the things he did. And then all the good guys in the movie had their jobs or got promoted. And all the bad guys lost their job. Well, at least that makes sense. Next, this movie did that stupid thing where they write on the screen what happened to all the characters. And to make everyone happy, all the good things happen to all the good guys. And all the bad things happen to all the bad guys. Yay, it makes everyone smile. And it's a happy ending. I mean, this isn't even a real movie. So when they write these things about these people, they're writing fake stuff about fake people. Next, they also insulted people who work in the fast food industry. They pointed out how the fat guy no longer worked there and he worked somewhere in the fast food industry. This was meant to make a joke and show how that guy got punished because now he works in the fast food industry. This movie was a typical Hollywood movie. This movie was for a certain type of audience. This movie was ridiculous, and this movie was predictable. This movie's not interesting, it's boring, it's not exciting, and there's nothing unique about this movie. Hey everyone, do you like prank calls to radio stations? Well, I've made tons of those, and you can play them on this page. So please subscribe to the page, please play the videos, please press the like button, and so on. The more people that do these things, the more prank calls to radio stations I'll plan to make. Thank you.